Welcome to another episode of Rivals, and in today's episode, we're going to have one more Gran Turismo for now from the PS1 era before we move on to PS2 eras. Believe me, I've got a lot of Gran Turismo episodes that have been requested, and I get the feeling that maybe some people think I only will be doing Rivals of these games, but not really the case. I mean, I'm willing to do other series if you actually check the list out of planned episodes, which I'm up to pretty much nearly 50, and I might have to put a halt to requesting for more just because there's just so many right now. But once I kind of get through it a little bit more, I'll probably open it up again. But for now, because there's so many planned, it might be good to hold off for now. But regardless, we're here on the original Gran Turismo. This again comes from Muller Milch 245. He requested quite a few of them, so his name's gonna hop up for the next little while in these episodes that follow. But afterwards, it'll start to become a little bit, more diverse. Anyways, he's requested that I do the Toyota Soarer 2.5GT-T VVTi, bit of a mouthful, going against the Eunos Cosmo 20B Type E CCS. These are large two-door coupes with quite a bit of power, but also quite a bit of weight. For example, the Soarer has 277 PS. Because, again, Japanese version of the game, whatever. So it would be roughly around 270 horsepower, somewhere around there. But weighing about 1,560 kilos, which is quite a bit. Whereas the Eunos Cosmo has only one additional PS at 278, but carries an additional 80 kilograms at 1,640. It's also going to be an interesting comparison of a car that's using a turbocharged inline 6 in the Soarer versus a turbocharged 3-rotor in the Eunos Cosmo. So basically, inline 6 versus 3-rotor. Which one's going to be better? So, I'm already in the Eunos Cosmo, and we're going to be going over to the track of requests, which, believe it or not, is Special Stage Route 11. Yes. This is anyone who's played the original Gran Turismo or has even watched my LP I did of it a little bit some time ago will know that this is one of the longer tracks and one of the more difficult tracks in the game. And unfortunately, when it comes to these, I'm gonna have to make it a one-run deal because the way the time trial thing works in this game is they only give you 2 laps. So yeah, kind of unfortunate that they couldn't do it like the later Gran Turismos, but alas. Yeah, I mean, with Gran Turismo 2, sure, it's a little silly the way I set that one up, but I can at least just go to a race that has the track in mind, unless it's like a very specific track for some reason never shows up in any of the regular stuff. Although you can just go to another thing to get it to show up. It was really underutilized. And then Gran Turismo 3, I just have to head over. I would just have to go over to the arcade mode after having bought the cars and everything. And then Gran Turismo 4, pretty much everything is in the arcade mode. Won't even have to worry about going into the simulation for that one. And oh boy, someone is pinging me on another site. I'll have to get to that in a little bit. But anyways, so yeah, Special Stage Route 11 just is. There are a lot of slow corners, so you gotta be really careful, especially with a car that's just rear-wheel drive like this. And this is one of the really tricky corners here because you really gotta slow the car down. In fact, you saw it there. The car nearly gave up on me and spun out, but a bit of the wall kind of helped keep my car at a kind of more relaxed pace. I just have to be fairly careful here. Alright, so we're looking okay right now. Okay, and right through there's a little bit of cut, but kind of really can't help it, especially with this game's kind of like physics and whatnot. Alright, we're gonna have so like I said, this next lap is gonna be the only one that the game's gonna let us do, really, so we're gonna have to really make the best out of the lap. It's of course going to still be more than 2 minutes just because this track is long enough, but, I'm pretty sure you already knew that. Oh, we got some slide out. I just have to be very careful with this car. It just wants to get its slide out because, rear-wheel drive and at least a bit of power, you know, despite the fact that it is a heavier car. Although, to be fair, heavy cars sometimes just makes it tricky to kind of get back in place, because it's just requires a lot of effort. But, you know, whereas lightweight cars are easier to correct, but are also a lot easier to go wrong too, because you try too hard on them, and you're spinning the car out a lot easier. So comes the little chicane part. This particular area was when the Route 11 has only ever appeared in one other Gran Turismo game, and that's Gran Turismo 3. And that chicane section was completely taken out. They completely redid that section. And a lot of me wants to believe it was probably because that was one of the more trickier areas of the track. So it probably just had a lot to do with that, maybe. Although originally they were going to keep that chicane as early Gran Turismo 3 demos showed, when people were going through that, scavenging through files just to see exactly what the demos contained. So, you know, I'm just trying to be gentle and careful. Don't let the car really spiral out of control or anything. Oh, careful! Oh boy, that could have been potentially a bit of a mess, but you know, we kept it at least to the best of my ability in said situation. So, but we are gonna get our lap time for this, which is going to be a 2-minute 14.893 is going to be the time that the Eunos Cosmo is going to have to beat. And what I'll probably just end up doing, to be fair, is probably just putting the emulator on a bit of fast forward so we can just quickly get through the that first lap, since that's obviously not going to count for anything. And especially because someone's pinging me on another site that I'm a part of, so, you know, might as well try as fast as I can to get to that. But anyways, Cosmo, I'm expecting this car might struggle a bit with the fact that it has the same power, but well, like, it's with maybe, like, with the exception of one more horsepower, which, when you have a car that weighs 80 kilograms more, what really is that going to benefit for you? Now, I'm not too worried right now about seeing the ghost for that. In fact, I can't actually turn it off. I thought there would have been an option for that. Okay. But yeah. Again, I'm mostly just speeding up this first lap because just to get to the more important stuff, and so I'm not worried about what that says. All that matters is the fastest lap time. So you know, I'm of course not going to be anywhere near the pace because I'm kind of speeding it up like this. But hey, again, I'm only doing this because apparently someone's trying to ping me. I forgot to set my thing that I was busy recording, so should have actually done that in hindsight. Oh well. But regardless, I'll just try to get through this, and then we'll see exactly what lap we can get out of with the Cosmo. In fact, I just spun out. That was fun. Probably was bound to happen, considering I'm just like speeding it up here. Okay, I'm gonna just return the speed and just get what I can here. All right, let's see what we're going to manage here then with the Cosmo. This is going to have to be, of course, again, the lap time that will matter. So we shall find out. Now, it certainly doesn't seem to feel that faster to begin with. Well, especially when that happened, that's a bit, you know, of a mess. And one thing I'm definitely noticing with the Cosmo, it is so much heavier at the handling. Like that extra weight is really showing with the Cosmo here. It's heavier, and it just feels like it understeers a lot more, which is interesting because again, this is a rear-wheel drive car, so you would expect the tail end to come out, but I guess probably because the steering is just so much heavier. Is that you know, it's not really the case, and also because you know it's carrying about the same amount of power as the Soarer is, yet is also carrying about 80 kilograms more weight. It's definitely quite a bit heavier. So, you know, that's definitely kind of probably bringing the car down. I'm just trying what I can here, and I haven't really been paying attention to the split times, to be honest, so I don't know if I'm actually would be catching up or anything at all. I mean, again, it does actually help that the car is not really trying to get the tail end out like the Soarer was. But it also just, I don't know, it does feel slower, I must say. Again, that's the really tough, sharp hairpin corner there, where it's very easy to get the car's tail end to come out, so... or end up spinning out. Nah, I think I'm actually going a bit slower, maybe. Like I said, I'm trying to push this thing right now. I'm really trying to get the most out of this, but it just feels slower, and you know, so much heavier on the steering. The Soarer was definitely, oh god, the Soarer was definitely a nicer experience, to say the least. Well, that little area there was a disaster. Although it must be said, even if that wasn't the case, I probably would have still been off that pace, because that is a 2 minute 17.264. So even if that little area at the end there didn't happen, it would have been a little quicker, but it still would have been behind the time of the Soarer. So there we have it, guys. In today's episode, the Soarer was the winning car, which is a bit interesting, because for a while now we've had quite a few cases where the second car I've driven was the faster of the two, but today it was the first car, which kind of gives a nice little difference. And honestly, I don't just think it's the winning car in terms of time. Obviously, I also think it's just a better car. It's more lively with the steering, and sure, it slides out a bit more, but it just feels like it has more character, and it feels it just doesn't feel so heavy and slow. And Soarer's, in my opinion, is the better of the two. I mean, yes, I love the rotary, I love the triangles and everything, but I would still pick a Soarer over the Cosmo. And also because the Soarer kind of is just generally cooler to me. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. As always, if you want to check out my other links, Twitter, I have a Twitch, I have a Patreon if you want to donate, and I have a forum board if you want to join that. They're all down below in the description. If you want to also check out the episode list, I'm probably might be taking 1 or 2 more episodes, and I'm going to have to put a halt on taking more episodes just because there's just so many right now. That will also be down below in the description as well. And of course, the most important thing, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care.